Hello Reformers and welcome back to Phantasy Calradia. Now, when we left off, we were on a bit of a besieging spree from the Kingdom of Swadia. They were attempting to, fight back against us, and it hasn't really worked out too well. Ooh, your soldiers patrolling Uxkhal have been defeated near Nomar. Well, they actually weren't a patrol that I instructed to run around. Count Meltor. He was the fellow that defeated our patrol by the looks of things. But as I was remarking to Jeremus just now, it is rather remarkable how easy it is to get an army going with the Necromancer. And let me just reiterate, or shall we say, let me just explain a little bit what I mean by that, because if you have a huge amount of wound treatment, and I'm talking about if you have at least 4 or 5, that's perfectly fine. Then if you have a decent amount of necromancy, so I'm talking about, I don't know, probably 8 for shadows, because that's what, I guess that's the level you need of necromancy to make shadows, or is it 7? I think it's 8. But anyway, point is, that's pretty easy to do, Early on, if you just spec into intelligence, you can get to 8 pretty easily. And then all you do is you just wait at one of your fiefs, or you wait at a fief, and then you decide, hey, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait here, let my wound treatment do the rest, and then eventually you're going to be able to continually summon shadow units. And even the regular shadows are actually pretty good, I mean, they're not the greatest, obviously, but they are replaceable very easily. And even if you lose a bunch of shadow wizards like we did in the previous episode, you are able to get them back reasonably easily, because these guys, they do tend to gain experience pretty well, and they're able to, get back into things. Now, as you can see, I've expanded my spells a little bit because I've been able to... Oh yeah, I don't have a shield. Isn't that fantastic? Maybe I should use my shield spell. Oh yes, there we go. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, the point is, if you're able to just wait at a town or a castle and then let your wound treatment do the job and then go into the camp menu and use your necromancy skills over and over, you'll have an army in no time. I've been waiting for about maybe a week and a half, and I've just literally been waiting for Arkane's health to get get about 90%. I think you need to have 90% or so to be able to summon shadows. I think you need about 75% to be able to summon the other kinds of units like skeleton zombies and specialized skeletons. I believe I actually saw a comment that was asking what actually is the option, the specialized, skeleton summon. And as far as I'm aware, it gives you skeletal cavalry. Yes, so if you don't want the skeletal infantry, then that is certainly the one to go for. Anyway, let's try out our Ice Storm spell, shall we? Ooh, that is cool. That is really cool. I like it a lot. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at using it, as you can blatantly see, so that's a bit unfortunate, but it's okay, because we can just head in here and hopefully get our HP back just a little bit. As you can see, our shadow wizards were able to clear out the majority of the defenders, but now we just need to deal with the last remaining stragglers. Yeah, there we go. Wasn't that a wonderful jump right there? Oh yes, Arkane has still got it in him, he's still got the legs to jump at his opponents and hopefully not get massacred by this mage. Get out of here, mage. Yes, anyway, I am actually thoroughly enjoying the Necromancer and what changes have been brought, because previously, if you recall in this series, we had, well, shall we say, the ability to recruit masses of units, and I'm talking about zombies and skeletons here. That was only due to the dark mages and things like that. Now, they still summon zombies and they still summon skeletons, but on a much lesser scale, and I actually think that that is much better, because it becomes kind of ridiculous if they're able to summon thousands after, I don't know, a couple of weeks, I guess. So yeah, anyway, let's go in and see if we can eliminate these guys. Now, as far as I'm aware, I can't use Ice Storm indoors. Is that true? I'm not entirely sure. It seems like I can't even use... magic in here. It seems like it doesn't seem to work, but oh well, never mind. I don't really mind too much about that because I do need some HP back, and my Vampiric Blade is hopefully going to help us out a little bit. Now, I have thought to myself, okay, how am I going to make Arkane look cool? Because at the moment, his helm is the only thing that makes him look cool, right? Yeah, that's the Dread Mask or Dread Hood or something along those lines. And unfortunately, I will not be able to head back to Delversum Empire territory for quite some time. I mean, unless I'm able to somehow gain huge amounts of power, which we actually do have right now. We are pretty powerful at the moment, but I'm talking about having at least 50 Shadow Wizards and maybe about 20-25 Shadow Knights, and then, you know, seeing what we can do with that. But at that point, they're probably going to have so many units in the garrison there that it's going to be very difficult to take it. Now, I'm not going to actually rescue anyone here because, again, I'm only using quote-unquote evil units. So that's what I'm going to do, at least for now. And, oh yeah, and the point is that I'd like to get the Necromancer armor, but as far as I'm aware, the Necromancer armor is only available in the marketplace in the Obsidian Spire. And if I'm wrong about that, then please do correct me, because obviously I don't know whether it's available anywhere else. I would assume probably not at the Wizard's Tower. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but yes, I think at the moment it is more than likely going to be at the Obsidian Spire, and so that means that basically my only option is to go for the Twilight Armor, which is absolutely fine, because I was actually kind of planning on that anyway, but it is very expensive, so obviously that might be a bit of a pain. Now, we are at 100% HP, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Necromancy skills. Oh yeah, I believe that the person that actually did comment about the Specialized Skeletons wanted to see what it was all about, so I'm actually going to just click on this so you can see what it's going to do. And you can raise Skeleton Archers, Infantry, and Cavalry. So if you want to, you can do these, you know, Specialized Skeletons. That's exactly what it says on the tin, isn't it? Yes, anyway. There you go. Yeah, I think I actually want to change... Can I actually change the reinforcement waves? Because it seems like we don't have too many reinforcement waves for the opponent, and it seems like we're able to very easily overcome their numbers and only eliminate about 79 of them. Now, I do have a die works now in Uxkhal. I was able to get enough money because, again, I had actually a bit in the treasury, and I was able to just basically take out about 5,000 and then just, you know, get a die works in Uxkhal, and thankfully that's giving me 628. I don't really mind too much whether it's going to give me huge amounts of money. I don't need huge amounts of money at the moment. As long as I'm able to pay my units' wages, that's all that matters right now. And then, well, this is one of the more difficult sieges out of the way because of the length of, you know, the construction time. Ooh. Look at that. It seems like the Riders Majocracy has decided to leap out of their small corner of the world, and they're actually deciding to tackle the Rhodoks. It seems like they're tackling the Rhodoks at the moment. And let's actually see what else is actually going on in the world here. The Drow are seeming to come out a little bit. The Bleeding Throat clan are obviously going to be at war against the Kurgid Khanate for the most part, but usually they're able to take Ikimur before they make peace, but they haven't been able to do that this time around. And what else do we have going on here? Not much. The Nords don't seem to be doing too much, and that seems to be basically it. Oh yes, by the way, I found Ice Storm at the Elf Forest. It's literally just 20 seconds away, so how could I not check out what's going on there? Anyway, 7 Shadow Warriors, good for me, and another couple of Greater Shadow Warriors. Get some more Hell Knights, and there's another Shadow Wizard. We now have 35 Shadow Wizards again. We actually did have 39 before, or something along those lines, but obviously we lost all of them due to some kind of control problem, because obviously I died, and I guess the shadows start kind of turning on each other if the master of them is not available. So yes, anyway, let's see if I can... Well, we're not at war against the elves or the Rhodoks, so I suppose I can literally just leave them alone. And that means, everyone, we are going to be tackling Suno. It seems like that is probably going to be the case. And, oh yeah, I should also mention that it is absolutely fantastic to have units that don't actually consume food that much. because food for me is always extremely difficult and kind of, I don't know, it's kind of just a bit annoying to deal with when you have such a large army, and I don't need to worry about that. I also don't need to worry about morale at all either because of our necromancers. These guys right here, they are doing a fantastic job of improving our morale every single, well, I think every day or every 2 days or something like that. And as you can see, my morale is excellent still, so pretty awesome there. Anyway, they have about 450 units in here. I'm going to check my settings before we go in, and then I'm going to see whether the reinforcement waves are a little bit too low at the moment. Well, this is rather interesting. I mean, with the exception of the lichdom option that we have in the camp menu, I haven't actually been able to find anything else, which is kind of sad. So if we go over to the diplomacy here, you can see nothing to do with the reinforcements. And then we go into the Phantasy Calradia 2018 settings, and we have nothing here either, as far as I can see. I mean, maybe I'm missing it, and maybe if you're with me, I might be able to spot it. But no, it seems like I'm unable to. I mean, you can see here as well that I have all of these options enabled, and yeah, everything should be working. But no, apparently there's nothing there. Apparently nothing there. So we're just going to have to deal with the low reinforcement waves. Not entirely sure what's going on with it, but I guess I don't really mind too much, because that means that sieges are a little bit less drawn out, but it does then mean that they're much, much easier. So maybe that's a bit unfortunate, but anyway, -5 battle advantage. Let's see if I can use my Ice Storm. Okay, it's doing some damage. Not really enough, is it? Oh, that was not good. Okay, maybe I can actually just go up there and just see if I can do a little bit of damage that way, because at the moment, yeah, this is much better. There you go. Okay, no, didn't want to didn't want to do any damage. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that, because you can see here that our Shadow Wizards are perfectly capable of dealing damage, but I guess it's just me not being able to do it properly. Maybe I actually need to hit people. Do I actually need to hit people with the spell to actually deal damage? Because I actually thought that maybe I could just hit the ground and then the Ice Storm would just appear and start doing damage. But I think I probably need to attack an actual person, and obviously that's going to make a bit of difference. So yeah, anyway, let's tell our cavalry and infantry to charge in here and see what we can do. I'm going to get my shield up, even though I don't necessarily think that the shield is very powerful, but hopefully it's going to be enough to just block a couple of attacks. And maybe I'll be able to get in and do some damage with my Vampiric Blade. I would very much appreciate it. But you can see here already I've killed, what, 44 units? That's not that much. And we should theoretically be receiving enemy reinforcements very, very soon. But they are not. They are not coming in, so I guess we're just going to have to deal with the fact that we are going to have a little bit easier sieges, which is a bit weird, because that kind of nullifies the entirety of their garrison. You can see here, look at this. That's it. And I haven't changed anything. My battle size is completely the same, as it always has been. And that's it. So, yeah, maybe that needs to be changed, or maybe there's just some setting or something along those lines that I haven't found, and maybe you can enlighten me. So, yes, that would be nice. Anyway, there you go. That was pretty easy. I mean, didn't really need to do too much. Maybe I can get a couple more points of HP there just to make sure that we're full, and then we can continue onward. But that is... it's very, very simple indeed. I mean, maybe it's just because we're fighting the Swadians, and maybe the Swadians are not necessarily the most powerful ever. Maybe they're, demonstrating that by not sending in too many waves. Okay, I'm going to try Ice Storm here. Okay, so... Right. Okay, so you can see there that you do actually need to hit the opponent for that to make a difference. Okay, so I'm going to try and use... Alright, Acid Arrow apparently is pretty good. I mean, you can see there, I did 26 damage, which is not really the most powerful thing ever, but it is a damage over time effect, as far as I'm aware, so... Get him! Ah, okay, oh dear. Okay, come on up. Yes, there we are. Nice. That's what you get, bearded man. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we're done. 21 renown, very nice indeed. And we can eliminate the last units here. I'm going to try Ice Storm once again just to see what's actually going on with it. Okay. Well, obviously this guy is going to be a bit annoying, isn't he? Oh well, never mind. Maybe I can actually do something here. Okay, you hit a friendly troop. Well, that's obviously not very good. Arkane, what are you doing? He's like, I do not care. They are my minions. Yes, exactly. That's what he should be saying. That is what he should be saying, yes. Oh well, there you go. That was easy enough. 21 renown each time for going into the streets and the keep, respectively. Pretty amazing. And I'm going to be taking these guys prisoner. Whoa, there's actually a lot of them. Nice. Alright, anyone else? No, no one else I need to deal with, really. And I can upgrade. No one really needs upgrading, so not really necessary. I'm gonna conteep. Yes, that is exactly what I wanted to say. I'm gonna conteep. Yes. I think you all know what that means. No. It's absolute gibberish, isn't it? No. I meant to say, I'm gonna continue keeping... Conteep? Do you see what I mean? I'm gonna continue keeping some fiefs for vassals. And that's the thing. I would be inclined to maybe make Quiona a vassal, but I personally feel like she's probably not high enough level just yet to make that worth it. So she, you know, is probably not going to have a very large army and so on and so forth. So that's not really going to work out too well. But you can see here that we've expanded our territory extremely quickly. And then I guess that is literally just due to the fact that the reinforcement waves are currently not on or available or something like that. I have just enabled Regale, by the way. I did not have Regale enabled beforehand, which I actually thought I had. So that's a bit unfortunate. So I guess we could actually do a couple of things. I want to leave the woodcutter. I want to leave here, yes. Okay, so what we can do... Okay, so let's have a look. What am I actually good at? I'm not good at anything. Isn't that sad? Arkane Deathbloom, not good at anything. I mean, he's pretty decent at smithing, but everything else, he's pretty awful. Okay, fine. What about smithing then? Oh, dear. That's not very good, is it? Okay, well, let's just buy 1 iron, and then we'll learn a little bit here. Just in case, you know, just in case we need this. Alright. What is that? I would like to turn in 5 iron. Oh, for 800 dinos. Oh, okay. Well, that's absolutely fine. I guess I'm just going to continue learning a little bit and see what we can do. But what I'd like to do, ideally, is learn about hunting and all of that sort of stuff so that I can actually gain some pretty decent benefits for just running around the world. Because that's exactly what we're doing right now. We're just running around the world and... Well, what else is there to do, you know? I mean, with the exception of, obviously, you know, besieging things and all that sort of stuff. So, there you go. We can now... Oh, you need 100 and... Wait a minute. Do I not have enough money? I don't have enough money. Oh, that is quite embarrassing. That is quite embarrassing. I do have a lot of money in my treasury at the moment, but at the moment, I think I need to go back to Uxkhal to be able to get it. So I guess I'm just gonna leave it for now. And I'm just gonna go into Ribule Castle and take that if I can. It's a siege tower. Oh well, never mind. We have to take it at some point, so we might as well do it now. Ah, well, I had a pretty interesting message come up in the text box just a moment ago, and that was to report that Lord Randval of the Delthusum Empire has left the Delthusum Empire and has joined the Kingdom of Vaegirs. Yes, isn't that insane? It's like, oh yes, I must join the strongest faction in the land, the Kingdom of Vaegirs. Yes, that's certainly not the case in my opinion, but oh well, there you go. And yeah, I'm still awful at using Ice Storm. So, yes, nothing much to report there. Yes, absolutely terrible. Okay, I'm just going to wait for my shield then, I guess. And we're going to have to I would assume we're probably going to have to go up the siege tower instead of just allowing our wizards to do the work, because it seems like many of the units in this particular keep are actually pretty well defended. So maybe I can use something else. No, that's not going to work. What about charm person? Only one charge? Are you serious? Dearie me. Okay, well, I actually have a pretty decent amount of magic power, so oh well, never mind. My regeneration in terms of my mana points are absolutely awful, so I probably just need to spend them a little bit more carefully as time goes on. But at least I'm able to get a shield now, so that will prevent me from taking any unnecessary damage. You know, I've actually just thought to myself, what would happen if you created a Cleric? And again, I'm gonna reference part 2 of the Cleric showcase here, because that build is still kind of on my mind, and I'm thinking to myself, what can you do with it? You know, with the exception of just absolutely roasting your enemies, completely barbecuing everyone, then what else can you do with it? So I was just thinking to myself as I was cut away there, I was just thinking, what happens if you choose to be a cleric with a high amount of faith skill, but then you also decide to spec into necromancy? So you are effectively a dark fire cleric, and that's obviously going to mean that you will be able to use the fire spells, which are insane, mind you, and you're also able to use all kinds of, you know, blessings and things like that. And then you're still able to summon shadows and all kinds of amazing units that way. Obviously, you're not going to be a very big fighter. You know, you're going to be a pretty terrible fighter because you're not going to spec into strength that much. Because, I mean, let's face it, you know, the only thing you're going to need is that AoE fire ability that I can't remember the name of, but that thing is absolutely beastly. And you're only going to need that. You're only going to need that to deal damage because it doesn't even use that much faith skill. So that's pretty awesome. You don't even need any magic power either because, let's face it, you don't really need to throw spells considering you have the fire, you know, from your faith skills. And so you only need to spec into, I would assume, medicinal skills and, well, I would say wound treatment mostly. And then you need to spec into magic defense. And then necromancy, so they're all the intelligence-based things, maybe some pathfinding as well, chuck that in a little bit, and otherwise you just want to spec into faith, and that's it. So yeah, that seems like a pretty interesting build idea in my opinion, but I don't know whether it works, because obviously your alignment is going to be screwed up like nothing else, because you're using evil units as a technically, quote-unquote, good character, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe one of you has tried it out or wants to try it out, and you know, maybe you'll let me know. Anyway, that will be it for this episode. We've expanded our territory so significantly thanks to the reinforcement sort of thing going on. I don't know what's actually going on with it, but anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.